And I was somewhere around the age of 12 or 13. I was hanging out with friends and thought it would be fun to try it. It just grew over the years into something I was doing like daily. I eventually got to the point where I was smoking pot every day. I was drinking almost every day. And then I started trying acid and ecstasy and painkillers and cocaine. You're lying, you're stealing, you're just doing all these horrible things that you never thought that you would do. It was just awful. It was so horrible, like waking up every day and wanting to use just to feel like somewhat normal and be able to function. Old friend of mine, and he was a drug dealer of mine as well. He invited me to stay with him for a week in the mountains of North Carolina. So I went up there and we sit down to talk, and he's like, you know, basically he had become a Christian, like given his life to Jesus. I didn't really believe in God. I was an atheist, but he was so like nice and sweet and humble and just really selfless. And so by the end of the week, I went to church. It was like so peaceful and just so full of love, and just it was like no drug I'd ever done, nothing I'd ever experienced. But when I was in that room that day, it was like my heart just came alive, and I felt like I had finally come home. I wound up giving my life to Jesus that day, and that was the start of a long process of change for me. God wound up calling me to Thunder School, which is a worship and evangelism school in Nashville, Tennessee. While I was there at Thunder School, God wound up calling me to New York. And I heard about Street Life Ministries from a friend of mine at Thunder School. Street Life Ministries is basically a nonprofit organization. We're a group of missionaries that, you know, each of us are from different areas, and God has called us here to New York and sent us to, you know, show His love to this city through practical and spiritual ways. One of the things we do is serve the poor and the homeless, give them food, clothing, toiletries, and connect them with other places that can get them help if they want to try to get off the streets and put their lives back together. To us, that's like really being Jesus now. Like, He gave us the task of showing Him to the world. And if you read in the Bible, like when He walked this earth, like He was, you know, doing that. Like anybody He encountered that needed help or was down or was going through a hard time, He would sit down with them and talk to them and minister to their deepest need. And so that's what we try to do. We befriend people when they need a friend. We're a listening ear when they need someone to listen. They need a shoulder to cry on. And if they want more help, we're there to give that to them. So I love being out on the streets because I get to work a lot with people that are struggling with addiction to either alcohol or drugs. I often get to share my story with them. I'm constantly telling people, you know, that there is hope and that they can look at me and see a person who's been clean for 5 years and who's been set free from even the desire, the urge to use. I love being able to do that because it's like God redeeming my struggles and giving me beauty for ashes.